I am at a crossroads regarding my marriage. There was infidelity on his part several years ago, shortly after the birth of our child. He claims there was nothing physical, just an emotional affair, but he never told me who it was with. I was devastated and didn't have evidence that it was physical, so I decided to accept his story. With the help of a therapist and a focus on activities I enjoy, I was able to rebuild my self-confidence. Although our relationship has never fully recovered to the way things were before the affair, things have been peaceful in our house. Recently, I've realized that I want more from my marriage. Our child is older and less dependent on me. I'm stable in my career, and we are debt-free. I feel healthier and more in control of my life than ever before. My drive for bedroom intimacy has come back stronger than ever, and I have a zest for life that I haven't had since before the affair, but my husband seems content with the way things are. He doesn't put any effort into spending time with me, there is no intimacy on his part, and he does not initiate in the bedroom. To be honest, he does not seem very interested in me. I have talked to him about my needs and how I'm feeling. He claims he has low testosterone but won't do anything about it. He doesn't want to go to any sort of counseling, and stated that he doesn't feel the urgency to fix anything in our marriage. At this point in our marriage, we should be enjoying our new freedom with no debt and an older child. I want to travel, go on adventures, and have lots of bedroom intimacy, but he is just not interested. We have weekly talks to no avail, he's just getting annoyed at this point. We had another one tonight and it was more of the same. He says he can't commit to doing the work because he doesn't know how much work it's going to entail. What about our kid? I do love you, blah blah blah. I know it's time for me to stop chasing and just walk away. It's so damn scary though. Update 1. I had a final talk with my husband. Here is a synopsis of our conversation. I told him that I refuse to live like this any longer. I want a husband, not a roommate or co-parent. His response is that we owe it to our son to provide him with a 2-parent household. I told him that we owe it to our son to be happy so that he knows what happiness looks like. I don't want to normalize this environment for him. My husband doesn't understand why he can be content to live like this, but I can't. He accused me of being insecure because I can't live without a man. My husband says that we should continue to carry on like this for our son, and maybe the relationship will improve with time. I responded by saying that our marriage has never really been good, and I don't want to go back to that. I want to try to work towards something better. He says that he believes that I like being miserable and asks me several times, why can't you just be happy? My husband then admits to me that he never wanted to get married and have kids, but that is what normal people do, so he went along with it. This was a moment of clarity for me as I always knew something wasn't right about our marriage. I was never settled and always had to fight for my needs. I asked my husband to move out of the house so we can start separation. He refused, saying that it would be too hard on him. I obviously can't leave because I am the main caregiver of our son, and I am not willing to uproot him. When we separate, I'd like my son to continue to have this home as his primary residence. After the moment of clarity came an intense wave of sadness. I am now questioning everything in my life. I started to cry, and he got frustrated and left, and we have not said anything to each other since. We briefly discuss household duties and childcare, but that's it. My husband has been helpful around the house, with our son's school activities and schedule, very attentive to our son, polite and not nasty, planning family game nights, and suggesting things we can do together as a family, most of the things I begged him to do for the last 16 years. This is just confusing and infuriating. Why now when I have one foot out the door? I really don't know what to do at this point. He doesn't want me to leave but won't stop me if I do. He won't leave but has stated verbatim that he refuses to work on our marriage. I am totally confused and am seeking advice. Please note, just leaving is not an option for me. I'd have to leave my son, and that is not an option. Update 2. I have contacted a divorce lawyer just to see what my options are, and he was so incredibly helpful. We'd approach it as an uncontested divorce, splitting everything 50-50. My heart breaks at the thought of not seeing my child every day. We have a very good relationship, and I'm the person he talks to about stuff, but I do not want him to think that this is healthy for me, because it's not. I'm constantly questioning my worth and what I did wrong. Thank you all for your honest feedback. Update 3. Hi everyone, it's been over a year since I posted in this community but wanted to give you an update since you all were kind enough to offer advice on my earlier posts. What a difference a year can make. If you've read my previous posts, you'll know that I was in a really crappy situation this time last year. My marriage had ended years before it was truly over, and I was in the throes of grieving it. I contemplated ending it all, but thank goodness I was able to talk myself out of it. Since then, I've separated from my husband, purchased a house, got a new job, ran a marathon, met a new man, and traveled quite a bit. It's been a wild and busy year. I won't get into all the details of the adventures I've had, but if you'd like to know more, just message me. Now that I've slowed down, I'm sitting here on the eve of Thanksgiving reflecting on the year. A few of my thoughts: they say marriage is hard, and divorce is hard, and to choose you're hard. Divorce is definitely much harder, and it's something I would not celebrate unless the person is in danger. There are times where I wonder if I did the right thing. Not because I miss my ex, but because I was safer married. It's less scary facing the devil you know than the devil you don't know. Ultimately, I know I did the right thing. One cannot live with constant disrespect from their spouse and expect to be well mentally, but I will always wonder if I could have held out a bit longer, at least until our child was in college and out of the house. There really is no perfect person out there waiting for you to find them. There are a lot of imperfect people who are either doing the work or not. I constantly check in with myself to ensure I'm one of the ones doing the work. Unfortunately, there are more folks not doing the work. I get it, it's hard and painful. It's slow going and takes an incredible amount of strength to really look at your own issues, strength to leave relationships that do not work for you, regardless of who is at fault, and strength to be alone. We always want the story to be a victim and villain scenario, but the reality is in most cases it's not. Don't get me wrong, there are times when someone clearly is a victim, but barring abuse, most of the time we are so blinded by our ego that we fail to see the role we play in the demise of our relationships. My ex is not a bad person, he just wasn't the person for me. In my haste to get married and have kids, I ignored this very glaring fact. And in my haste to get over my separation, I ignored that with the new man I got involved with 4 months after my separation was formalized. Which brings me to the present. The new relationship I was in recently ended in a similar way that my marriage ended. They say that the universe will keep sending you the same lesson until you learn it, and more true words have not been spoken. At least I can recognize this now, and when you know better, you can do better. FYI, it's not the universe, it's me. I went right back to what I know. And finally, the one thing I've learned to notice in my life are the constants: my health, my incredible family, the amazing girlfriends that have stood by me, and my own strong mental fortitude. I know I will always take care of me, and that is so comforting. Recently, one of my BFFs confided in me that she's thinking about divorcing her husband. She explained the situation to me and then asked me what she should do. I gave her the most honest answer I've ever given anyone in my life: I don't know. I'm not her, and I cannot possibly understand the situation she's in, but I did promise her that whatever decision she made would be the right one for her, and that I would support her 110%. For anyone contemplating a major life change, please know that you really do know what is best for you. Please trust yourself to make the decisions you need to make, knowing that you will be there to take care of yourself. I wish you all the adventures, self-love, and friendship that your heart can handle. Happy holidays and thanks.